2 games this week, 2 wins. How good does that feel?
Yeah, it feels great. One thing we talked a lot about is the importance of a 2-0 week in the Sun Belt, because they're really hard to come by in a really tough league like this. So, and then the travel this team has had to go through has been really tough. You know, we spent 16 days on the road in January, and that you're crazy if you don't think that takes a toll on yourself. And so I think everyone's been trying to just like soldier through it, and it's been really nice to come home and have a week to be home, sleep in your own beds. When we got that win Wednesday, we had a great time. We came up, we got them a nice celebratory meal on Thursday, got to watch this game as App State was playing Louisiana. And it's just, I was just telling someone, I just feel like there's a lot of good vibes in this program right now. We've got a lot of young women who get along really well. We got a coaching staff that gets along really well. Everyone's pulling the rope in the same direction. And when we lost to James Madison, one thing we talked about was, I said, guys, I thought you played your tails off. I thought we played a high level of basketball on the road against one of the top teams in the country. And the challenge was, if we can continue to do that, I'm like, guys, we got 6 out of 9 at home. And we have something special with the group we have. So it's like, if we can just build some momentum. And I think that brings me back to today. Like, now you get 2 games in a row. We got to find a way to go on the road and beat a tough Texas State team. But the momentum is building. And the hope is that we can just keep the Coastal Chaos coming and keep that momentum building, because I feel like we're in a good place right now.
I would be remiss if I didn't ask this question. Speaking of good vibes in the building, how fun was it to have local athletes from the Special Olympics here today? They seem to be having just as much fun as you did.
It's an amazing group. You know, we worked with them a couple months ago. They came out to practice, and then we did a little camp clinic with them. And it's just an amazing group. And I was just talking with one of the fathers of one of their athletes, and he was talking about, he's like, your team's amazing. He's like, the way they make our athletes feel. I said, well, trust me, you do the same thing for us. I said, you guys make us feel the same way. They're just an amazing group, and so many of them keep coming to our games. You know, every time we look up and we see a lot of them, and it's a special friendship that we've developed with them, and I know they appreciate us. We appreciate them tenfold right back at them.
I'm curious for both of you. They had a pretty difficult press there that they were running there today. What were some of the adjustments that you all made throughout the game to eventually break it, and what was it exactly that made it challenging?
I think that we found we had a lot of press breaks, so I think we just found one that worked for us. And then at one point in the huddle, we had turned the ball over and I just brought him into the huddle, and I was just like, we run a press every single day in practice. Like, we should not be like, this should not be difficult. Yeah. And after that, we were fine. But I think we just had to be a reminder of that. Like, we practice this every single day. And we have so many options to pass to and to get it and go. So I think once we just were under control and we knew what to run and flash work, so it was good. Yeah.
For both of you as well, I'm curious your answers on this. You know, how different does the week feel after finishing the week with 2 wins, opposed to maybe letting one slip away? How good does this feel?
Oh, it feels great. I think we were kind of at a down point a little bit, but we just had a team meeting, and I met with Coach P and everything, and we just have to get back on track, and we know that we didn't work this hard to, fall off short now. That's why I said I feel like it's been great vibes all week. Everybody's been in a great mood. Everybody just really wanted to be here, wanted to play, and I think we found our spark again. So.
Coach, I'm curious on your perspective too. What exactly was it about the press that they were running that made it a little bit, I guess, different, maybe, if that's the right word? And then what are some of the adjustments that you all were talking about in timeouts?
You know, I think the thing for us is, one thing I tried to do as much as possible is sub people in. Anytime we could create a dead ball situation, we were having success against their press. So you saw one time I put Delaney Carter in just so we could set up a play. We got a layup right off of it. In live play, they're long and they're athletic and they're tough. A lot of credit to those Louisiana players. They have a lot of respect for them. They play really hard, and then you add to that the length they bring to the floor. So I don't think there's anything schematically that we haven't seen. It's something we talked a lot about before the game. Is this team, you're going to feel them. They play hard and they're athletic and they're physical. So I thought that was some of it, because like Chris said, we handle a press every day in practice. We just believed if we could just get the court spaced correctly, we were going to be fine.
For both of you, obviously it was a physical game at times, it was an emotional game at times. What is that balance between matching the energy but also staying within ourselves and still playing coastal basketball? What's that kind of balance you feel throughout the game?
It's your turn. Step up to the mic, Chris.
I think, like, once we get on a roll, I think when we get on a run or something like that, like we find our balance versus like, we did get a lot of fouls, like 5 in a row fouls, like straight fouls. I think us coming together and really just being a family on the court, like, yes, he could coach us all he wants, but he's not playing. So it's like we need to come together and just keep pushing through it, like they're gonna call fouls, whatever, but like we need to stick together, and I think that's like what we really talk about when it's 5-on-8 sometimes, so.
Yeah, I would say that all year, like, we kind of work, like, with Coastal Chaos, we were really working on, like, moving to the next thing very fast, like, next play, make a mistake, you can always, like, make a better play the next one, and I think that's kept us level pretty much the whole year, so it's not difficult us for stay level, especially with, like, you know, calls and things, like, we can just have to control the uncontrollables, and just look at the person next to you and just be like, let's go, next one.
Next one.
Yeah, I think because we've been practicing that our whole.
Next one.
Yeah.
Especially Jay Bird, she was always saying next one, like, especially when I wasn't making, I would miss like 2 in a row, she's like, you're making the next one went in, so it's just like having that in your mental, it really helps.
Mallory, I've asked both of them throughout the season, but I'm curious your thoughts. Another good crowd today, great energy. How fun is it getting to play in front of a crowd like this, and does it make a difference for you guys?
Yes, I was literally coming out from halftime, and I was like, y'all, we got a good crowd today, and I was just happy. I told everybody in the stands how we could hear how loud they are every time we went on a run, or Chris made a 3, or just anything happened, like, it just erupted. And it's like so easy to play in, so fun to play in, just feel like I got the whole gym behind my back, so really easy to play, and we love it.
What would be some of the, if there's a fan or a student that they're on the fence and like, man, I'm thinking of going, what would you tell them, like, to encourage them to come see these games? Because they are fun.
Yeah, I would just say, just give women's basketball a chance. I'd say that we are very entertaining, we play hard, like, we're going to get steals, we love people that can make a lot of threes, and we just make big plays. I would just say that, and we're going to really need the support going on at the end of this conference, so we really just need everybody, and we work really hard, so yeah, we deserve it.
For you, Coach, kind of 2 different games this week, where the threes really didn't play a role, and another where the threes are a little bit more normal to you guys. For you as a coach, how good is that to feel that you can see a couple different wins of this team can win different ways?
It's so important. If you want to be a good team, you have to. There's a couple things you have to do. You have to win your home games, which we're doing a good job of that, and you have to be able to play. You have to be flexible. We say all the time. I think, as a coach, you want to be adaptable to what you're seeing. Very few teams just have the talent level where they can just come in and impose their will on you and do what they want to do. In a league like this that's so good top to bottom, you come in wanting to play a certain way. And like, you look at the first quarter, we scored 26 points in a team that gives up 11 points in the first quarter on average in the Sun Belt. So we did a phenomenal job, but they're good enough. They're going to get some runs where they can get you playing their style as well, because they're talented to do that. So when you find yourself in those moments, that's where, like, Lancia Ramsey has been so big for us. The inside presence she's given us, Jay Marable being able to break people down off the dribble. You can't just rely on threes. I know the threes are fun. We love our threes, but you have to have. One thing we preach a lot about is the importance of find balance, because if you can play 2 different ways, then you don't really ever box yourself into a corner and get, okay, well, what do we do now? Like, I think this team's got the talent to always have an answer to what teams want to come and try to defend us with.
Keep having to remind myself it is February 1st today, which means March is right around the corner. With 2 teams like this in the conference that are evenly matched in the standings, do you kind of start to have those conversations of all games are big, but for a game like this is a type of game that can determine the difference between a tiebreaker come conference time, and as you know, a different bye in the conference tournament can be huge.
I think that's more for you guys to talk about it. We honestly don't think that way. We don't talk that way. For us, it's whoever you put in front of us, we're going to try and beat. And I know someone asked me the other day, they said, what do you think of the conference tournament structure? I said, it's irrelevant to me. I don't care. It doesn't change my job. Our job is to show up, and whoever you put in front of us, we've got to win 1 game where it's a short stay. Yeah. So it's kind of how we look at it. We know, I think for us more than anything, we want to win our home games. So when we're here, we expect to win. I don't care who it is, we expect to win a home game. But we don't really talk a lot about the standings. We just try and focus on what's right in front of us. We say all the time, it's not about who we play.
It's
how we play.
So like, that's kind of our focus right there.
Okay, you just covered everything, so.
Cool,
The
Brown.
usual.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, guys.
That was a cute way to end it off.
That was